Hello, welcome to Microfiche Microphone. I'm Micah, and today we are going to look at something a little bit different because I want to introduce everyone today to a new website. I have decided that I needed a companion website to this channel, so I want to show you around a little bit. This is the Microfiche Microphone website. The address is microfichemicrophone.weebly.com. And if you look at the front page, it has my little logo. This is the companion website to the YouTube channel, Microfiche Microphone. And I've decided that I basically have three different kinds of videos. I have the original concept that I began first, and I have some church periodical readings from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But that became too much fairly quickly, so I don't have too many of those. And then I switched completely over to biographies. So let's take a look really quickly at original concept. I have the thumbnails of all of the original videos that I have made. Then they are sorted by the source that they are from and the year that they are from. So these are just in order of the ones that I read, and goes to 1800, and then it switches to Kansas Farmer. I did for a while, starting in 1918, to get some World War I interesting information, and also about the Spanish flu, which is in there somewhere. Anyways, and then their Ladies' Home Journal, and from 1884, which was the first year they had it. And then I switched to 1901 just to change it up a bit and read some new kinds of information. And then I decided that, my real special interest isn't so much general history, although I do find it interesting. My real special interest is church history. So I started to go to church periodicals, and I started reading The Juvenile Instructor from 1866, which I read January's, February's, and March. And then that became a bit much. So moving on to LDS biographies. And what's great about this is that I have sorted them out by who I am talking about. So from members of the First Presidency, Quorum of the 12, assistants, presiding patriarchs, presidency of the 70, presiding bishopric, Relief Society presidency, Young Men presidency, Young Women presidency, Sunday School presidency, primary presidency, and church historian. These are all the people that are the major callings that I intend to look at. There might be other ones as well. I'm not ruling anybody out, but we're talking about something along the vicinity of 500 people just in these categories, so I think I'll be busy for a while. So then at the bottom, they are in order by when the video came out. Once again, these are the thumbnails that I have put up on YouTube. And if you want to watch the video, then you can just click on the picture on the thumbnail, and it will take you over to YouTube. Yes? I don't want to watch it right now, so I'll go back to where we were. And you can see that we do have a good, solid handful. I think there's something like 70 so far, something like that. Anyways, I'm quite proud of it, and we will continue to add on to it, so any new videos that come out will appear at the bottom. However, if you just want to watch someone in particular, and you happen to know what their calling was, one of these, then you can do that. So First Presidency is pretty close to being full, as full as completed. So we're getting there, we're almost there. There are a few holes because I wasn't able to find an article on that person, or I just don't feel like I have enough information. But if I have the information, if there's a video up, it is listed here. So as you can see, I have the president of the church at the time, plus their counselors, first counselor, second counselor, and then sometimes there will be additional counselors if there are any more past second counselor. So sometimes there are, sometimes there's not. And then as you get later, it will stop being filled. And the reason being is that I have already mentioned I have no intention of reading any articles that are older than 1970 as to base my information on. The reason being mostly because I want to protect the privacy of any person who is still living, and I just don't find it necessary to continue on in that vein. So, as you can see, I'm not finished yet with the articles that I do have, so there will be a few more filled in before the end, but we will not be making it all the way to present day. The people who are living today will not be included. All right, so eventually on each page it does Twitter out to the point where it is no longer filled. That's just kind of the nature of the way this works. Also, I am not doing an article on Joseph Smith. There are about 1 million articles on Joseph Smith, and I don't feel the need to add to that. I think that most people know his history anyway. This is not adding new information to the universe. Yeah. Anyways, so besides the fact that the video itself would be like 5 hours long, and we're not doing that. So I'm just not covering him at all, in case you were wondering about that. Yeah, I didn't forget him. I just think that there's enough information out there about him. Anyways, some of them, however, do not yet have any information. So, for example, the Relief Society presidency. I haven't started yet with the women because I'm kind of going in order. But if you want to look up who was called at any given time, you can. So, under any particular president, I listed their counselors separately. So sometimes, for example, Amy B. Lyman shows up here as a first counselor under Louise Y. Robinson, but she was also a president herself. Yeah. So in that case, it will show, this person will show up twice, and that will continue in the future as well. Once again, I'm not talking about anyone who is alive today. Okay? So, and some of them have a few points filled, for example, presidency of the 70, but many are not. Yeah. Some are simply listed in a row like this. These are in order of when they were called. I'm hoping I got most of them right. If you ever find a mistake, please let me know. I will be interested. You can put it here in the comments if you would like to. And there are other ones that are listed more in hierarchies, like the president's first counselors and, for example, the church historian, church recorder. Another thing I try to do is if the title of the calling ever changed, then I would include that. Church historian, recorder, executive director of the historical department. Yeah? And today it's called church historian and recorder, and the current one is Kyle S. McKay, in case you didn't know that. He has spoken in conference before. Anyways, I didn't until I looked it up. Things will continue to fill up as I work on them, and I fully intend to work on them in this order. First, presidency, quorum of the 12, assistants to the 12, presiding patriarch, presidency of the 70, presiding bishopric, Relief Society presidency, young men presidency, young women presidency, Sunday school presidency, primary presidency, and church historian. And I sincerely hope that that is interesting for you, and I hope you continue to join me on this channel and with any of the biographies that I'm working on. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos.